your thoughts on the situation?
I'll tell you what my thoughts are. My thoughts are why they working up, but we give them a reason. They taking shots, no alcohol, it's killing season. Stick to the script like Spider-Man climbing up the wall. You ask the question, we answer by standing tall. Fight for what you believe in, that's real talk. Stay to yourself, the best lesson to be taught. One day you hear it, then you gone. Just take it slow. Welcome to Join Me Anytime on the Road Show. On the Road Show. Road Show, baby.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Black Rogue. Y'all are tuning to another special podcast episode of Go Rogue Podcast. I got a special guest in the building. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's up, man? It's your boy Casino ATX, straight out of Austin, Texas. What's happening?
What's good, man? Appreciate you coming to the show, baby.
Man, absolutely. I appreciate the invite. I told you when I saw you at the show, I was like, man, yeah, I got to come out and hop on the show.
Hell yeah, man. It was a good show that night, too. Hey, shout out to Two Stone, you know what I'm saying?
Big shout out to Two Stone.
It was a live show. It was a live show.
Big Two Management, shout out.
Hell yeah. So where you from, man?
I mean, well, you know, I consider myself from Austin. I mean, I was born in Houston, but I moved to Austin when I was real young, probably like 2-3 years old. I've lived all over the place, but Austin is my home. I pretty much spent all of my important years here, grew up here, you know, teenager and all of that. So, yeah, Austin's my home.
Best thing about Austin that you like?
Man, ooh, that's a tough question. It's a love-hate thing. I love the music scene here because I think our scene is unlike any other place, right? So that's probably the number one thing that I love here. It brings a lot of headaches as well, but, you know, that's maybe later on we might get into that. But I love the music scene here. It's unlike any other scene. And like I said, I've lived and been to a lot of places. We have a lot of stuff going on here and access to stuff that a lot of places don't. And there's a lot of things we get to do here that you can't do in other cities. So that is pretty live.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So why you think it's hard for us to come out, you know what I'm saying, other than Dallas or Houston?
Okay. That's a big piece of it. We're overshadowed by larger cities that have a really thriving music scene. But outside of that, I really would say, to me, it's two things, right? One, the fact that we have such a thriving music scene here, sometimes a lot of us get caught up in the rat race of just being number one here, and we don't think about expanding as much into other areas or other realms. So I think sometimes we kind of hurt ourselves with that. The second thing would be, while Austin is a big scene and a lot of people come party here, a lot of the bigger artists don't work here. Like, they don't come and record here. They don't come and make music here. They come do a show. They'll have a party. They'll go hang out on 6th Street, have some drinks, and then they dip. So because we haven't built that part of the scene yet. And not saying that the pieces aren't there. We got some dope studios here, but like the rock bands are known to come and make music here. Like, they'll go out to Pedernales Studios out there with Willie Nelson's spot, and they'll record a whole album. The country scene, they'll do that here as well. But the hip hop and the rap scene, we haven't gotten that yet. And we've actually had some good producers come out of here that have made stuff for some really big name acts. But the acts themselves haven't came here to work like that. So I think if Austin as a scene can collectively start moving around more, and then also if we can attract those artists to come and actually work and make music here, we'll start to see our scene really bubble up and blow up more.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So you being from Houston, are you hip to everything that's going on with the J Prince family and all that?
Man, I mean, I don't even think it's the fact of knowing or being from Houston or any of that knows about it. I mean, if you pay attention to any of the social media stuff, we all kind of know what's going on. Man, I'll be honest, I don't really get into all of that, mostly because I'm so focused
Do
on
Jay
it.
Prince run the city?
Yeah. I'd say definitely to certain extents he does. Maybe not as much as he used to. You know, this is a whole new era. You got a lot of new cats coming out. Honestly, the way a lot of these youngsters move around, I think a lot of those old school things of all check-ins and all of that, they don't care about that. They out here doing their thing. So, does he run portions and does he still, his name hold a lot of weight? Absolutely. But is it like it was in the 90s or even, you know, the early 2000s and whatnot? Not so much.
You see, they just canceled Charleston's White Show in Houston. You know, they beefing, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I'll be honest.
Charleston White said he got the cops behind him, too. And they didn't want him to come at all.
Man, you know what? I don't really watch much of that guy, but I'll say this. He's good at what he does because I think he does a lot of these things intentionally to rile people up. Because if you notice, you know, as people, we either watch stuff that we love or you watch stuff that you hate, right? And he pushes all the right buttons to really make people mad and to not like him. And, you know, people that tune into it, y'all feeding into what he wants. So, I mean, did they run him out of there as far as him not being able to do a show? I don't know, but that's probably what he wanted in the first place. So, you know, because it's content. When we talking about him, so, you know, there you go.
That's what's up. So with the Austin music scene,
Yeah.
you heard about the top 20?
Absolutely. Yeah, they drop that list like what? Every 6 months? Once a year?
What did you think
Make
about
everybody mad?
Yeah. What did you think about the last one?
I mean, man, that's their opinion. I don't never get mad over somebody's opinion, right? Because I can sit here and be like, you know, I should be number one every year, right? I can easily say that because that's my opinion.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't get, it don't. Okay, I will say this. There was one list, and I even think I put it on his post. There was one list Austin We Up put up, and it was a top 10 or top 20 performers out of Austin. And now that one I was upset I didn't get on it because if you've ever seen me perform or you've ever came to any of the shows I've done, whether it was when I was in groups or been solo artists, I go with the best of them. So that one I was a little ruffled my feathers a little bit. But outside of that, man, that's people's opinion. I always give props to anybody that makes those lists because I look at it like this, man. I'm a supporter of the scene. And the fact that enough people around here know more Austin artists to even sit there and make a list like that. Like when I got started, man, most people couldn't tell you 10 rappers out of Austin, let alone 20 and for it to be a whole big debate. So I look at it as progress.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up. A lot would say it's biased. What would you think about it?
Well, I mean, of course it's biased. It's opinion, right? And then, I mean, let's be straight up. So, like before I took a long break from music, right? I was out of the scene for about 5 years. So when I came back, I had to reintroduce myself to everybody, right? A lot of the youngsters didn't know who I was. You know, they're like, who? You know, they because it's all about what you're doing now. So it didn't matter what I had done in the past. A lot of them, they just didn't know me. Maybe they missed my time period while I was running. So, you know, a lot of these online sites, you paying for promo and all of that. So of course, the people that's paying them are probably going to be first on their list. Maybe not so much just out of the bias of it, but because if you're paying me, I've heard more of your stuff than I've heard from the guy that ain't paying me. You know what I mean? So, is it biased to an extent? Do I think it's just complete favoritism and they picking their friends? Not exactly. I think it's the people that are on their radar, right?
Yeah.
And then that's just kind of how it goes.
That's what's up, man. So, how long you been rapping?
Man, let's see. Like, I would say seriously, because I started rapping in high school, right? You know, typical beat on the tables at lunch and all of that, you know. But
the pencil thing?
yeah, you know, all of that, right? Yeah. But I'd say I started taking it serious. I consider that when I started taking my money and putting into it, I'd say I got started around 2002, 2003. That's when I started seriously doing it. I had some successes early in my career. I was kind of showing you, you know, with the Game Time song and my group Gutter Gang. I mean, we toured all across the country. We opened up for just about anybody you can name, from Lil Wayne to T.I. to Right over here at the Expo Center, we opened up for Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. I mean, you name it, I've probably done it, right? But
So why you guys never signed?
Drugs. A whole lot of drinking and a whole lot of drugs. We was wild. We was wilding, and I mean, we could probably make our own VH1 Behind the Music special on half the shit that we went through. But we was like a Texas Wu-Tang. It was a bunch of us, right? It was a big clique. And I mean, we just didn't find the right deal that fit the amount of people that we had, right? I mean, when you got 8 guys hitting the stage, you know, you need to be able to divvy the pie up amongst 8 people. And at the time, you know, we're talking like the days when you were going after label deals. And the labels were like, you know, shoot, we'll give you 6 points. We got 8 people. That ain't even a point per person, right?
Yeah.
So we just never got the deal that worked for us. And before we could get that deal, we just kind of, I don't know, I just think we just kind of partied ourselves out. We had a bunch of stories, man.
Everybody got their own egos, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, it was a little bit of that, but I think mostly, though, man, we were really wild. We were really wild. And at the time that we got in, it was at that transition from, you know, where, like, in the early 2000s, you had a lot of wild groups. But at the time, as we were transitioning in, they were starting to step away from that and get more into, you know, like the poppy stuff. You know, that's when you started seeing, like, the Soulja Boys and them pop off. You started seeing, what was that young cat? This Is Why I'm Hot. We toured with that guy. And
who was that?
Mims. Yeah.
What? No. That was I forgot his name.
Well, we were still real wild. And so here we are running this big group of Texas wild niggas, and they're putting us on these, like, you know, more poppy type shows. Because, you know, we had a song that had a dance and stuff to it, right? The Heisman a Hoe. But I just think at the time we were just a little too wild for where the crowd was going. And then, I mean, the scene changed in the midst of all of it. You know, the internet completely took over. You know, we were from the days we pull up, pop the trunk, and, you know, move out the trunk.
Yeah.
Sell your CDs, T-shirts,
Damn.
all of that right out the trunk. So as everything transitioned, I think it just took us too long to switch our hustle. And then we was just real wild and just doing a lot of stuff, and, you know, it just took its toll.
That's what's up, man. Shit, where did CDs go, bro?
Man, so you know what's funny? Depending on where I'm performing, I might sell out of my CDs. But at your basic average rap show, what's your IG, right? They wanna follow me on IG. They want to go to my Spotify and all of this other stuff where I don't make much money. So
I feel you on that, man. I feel you. So who are your influences coming up?
I mean, you know, besides the typical Tupac, Biggie, of course, those are heavy influences of mine. But I was really, really influenced by the underground scene. Well, what was underground when I was coming up? So, you know, like your E40s, 8Ball and MJG.
Oh yeah.
Of course, UGK was a huge influence on me. Suave House Records out of Houston. The 8Ball and MJG was their home, but they also had Crime Boss. They had South Circle. Man, they had so many good acts that were blowing up. I was a huge fan of pretty much all of the Houston stuff. You know, not just Screwed Up Click, which I did love, but I mean, like, Street Military. That was a big influence on me. Ghetto Boys was a huge influence on me. Man, there's so many Botany Boys. There's so many groups I could name that came out of Houston that, to me, they were the ones that directly inspired me to be like, hey, you could do it. Because they were cats just from the neighborhood, right? They were just cats that decided, hey, we're going to start rapping, and they started moving units in their city and in their neighborhoods and everything, and then from there they grew out of that. That was a huge influence on me because from my mindset, I was like, man, if they could do that, right, why can't I do that? And that was kind of what spurred a lot of the things that I ended up doing. And I really think there was a time period here in Austin where we've had, and we're in the middle of one right now. We've had several moments where the scene could blow up. Like from 2004 to 2008, We had Rapper Rick, the What It Do family. We had Dollars and Cents. We were all over the radio. Basswood Lane, Gutter Gang, Die Slow. There was so many groups. Then of course you have the LOEGs. I mean, Austin, and now you got like Quinn NFN. You got a lot of young cats now really stepping up and starting to do their thing. I mean, I feel like we're back at one of those moments where all it'll take is the right combination of things, and boom, it could blow up. And we got a lot of people from Austin moving around that they may not live here anymore, but they're making a lot of noise in other places. So I really think we're within a 1 to 2 year time frame where this time I think it's gonna really blow. Me personally, that's my bet.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm with you on that, man. So you got a project coming out right now? It's already out?
Well, so I dropped an album during the summer, Street Nerd, and that was the album I dropped with the label CHHK, College of Hip Hop Knowledge. Shout out to the
That's
fellas.
what's up, yeah.
And that was my first solo album in, like I said, I took a long break. So that was my first solo album in like maybe 6-7 years. So I thought it came out real good. I got some really great responses on it. So now we're moving into, I got 2 more projects dropping this year. I got an EP called The Red Cup Chronicles, which is just, about my experiences, partying and living and just all of that stuff. And then I got a full album coming out called The Kush Doctor.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, and you got some hot tracks on there. You got some hot people on there too as well.
Yeah. So on the Street Nerd, I got a good amount of people from Austin, but I also was able to reach out and get people from other cities. I got my homeboy Magno on the track. Me and Magno been cool since like the mid 2000s. Magno from Swisher House, so I got him on the track. I got people from Cali. King Nasir is on the track. On the upcoming project, I got a couple of surprises that I'm gonna drop out on y'all. But I got Clovo on the track from Die Slow. He's on one track with me. I'm working on.
Shout out Clovo.
Yeah, shout out Clovo. I'll give one away. So I got Bone on the track. Not Bone.
Oh,
Bone. He had that hit song. He got a big dick, how to use it.
Yeah.
The homegirl said. So I got him on the track, and I'm working on some pretty big features. Let me get the paperwork signed, and then I'll be happy to yell all of that. But this is gonna be a big year for me, man. I guarantee this is gonna be a big year for me. That's
what's up, man. So aside from the music scene, you got cannabis.
Yes, gas bags. Yeah, man. So last year, I started working with a company called Major Gains. They're a promotions and marketing company, and I would say out of all of the things that I really learned, and I try to educate as many rappers that I meet about this is you gotta have multiple hustles, right? Especially today. Like I was saying, your Spotify's, your YouTube music, the Pandoras, all of that. You don't make as much money from that as you would make from just straight grinding your CD or other products, right? So you got to diversify. So I hooked up with this company, Major Gains Marketing, through my homie Dominican J, and they got me a endorsement deal with a company out of Oregon, and so I got my own strain of weed out of it, right? It was called Cherry Mints.
That's what's up.
I made a little theme song for it. They had a little cool packaging that went along with it. And it got me real deep into the weed market out in the West Coast. So, we grinded that. We worked it. It got me some good exposure. I met some other weed companies. Ended up meeting these farmers, right? Growers out of Oregon. They had a company called Farmers of Perfection. I was going to be their brand ambassador. In the middle of all of it, they liked my ideas. They liked a lot. I set up a tour and all of this other stuff. And so they were like, well, hey, what if we help you make your own whole company? What? Hey, I'm a hustler, right? So shoot. I looked into what do you need to make an actual legal cannabis company, and did all of the homework, started putting the money down and all of that. And boom, you got gas bags. So now I got my own whole weed strain. And it's not just one flavor. We got Man, shoot, like I told you at the place, man, I got more flavors than Baskin Robbins. So we sell multiple different strains. We're getting ready to launch completely. I'll be in 18 dispensaries across from Oregon through Washington State down into California. We're working on getting some more dispensaries in New Mexico. I stand by my product, man. It's gas. That's why we call it gas bags. Man, yeah. So if this rap stuff don't pop, I know this weed stuff don't pop. So I mean,
yeah.
you know, you gonna catch me one way or the other.
You feel like you're moving more toward the cannabis direction than music?
I put it like this. Where me 10 years ago, all of my money was into the music popping off, I'd say I'm like 50-50, right? So half of the money that I make, I pour back into music, and then the other half I pour into the cannabis business. Now, with that being said, they go hand in hand. For instance, how did I meet you, right? I met you at a show.
Yes, sir.
But you also stopped and was like, oh, man, the dude got, what's this, right? And you're looking at the product and everything. So they go hand in hand. And one of the big things, another huge reason why I got into the cannabis business and why I'm definitely going to be putting a lot of effort into it, man, we as black people, we were criminalized for drugs. You know, the war on drugs was a war on us, right? And so now weed is legal. And I guarantee you, if you study what's going on, it's major corporations, it's white guys, it's white people jumping into this business, right? And I'm like, well, whoa, hold on a minute, you know, we were some of the biggest cannabis dealers and distributors and promoters of the culture out there. So this is a business we as black people definitely should have our hands all in. And so that's a huge other reason why I'm jumping into it. So I literally take all of my connections through music, and I pour into this because pretty much all of them smoke. So I can, you know, all of those studios I used to go to, now I'm not just going as a rapper. I'm up in there like, hey, try some of my product. When I go do a show, like I got a big show coming up with Devin the Dude, you don't think I'm going to be back there smoking with Devin? Like, hey, man, try my product. Hey, matter of fact, take a picture with me and the product. It makes you more than just a rapper at that point. So to me, they go hand in hand. But it also helps me expand the other side, right? Because now I'm not just another rapper coming in there. No, I'm the owner and the CEO of this company that pushes a product that you already enjoy. So you might as well check me out. I'm a black guy doing this. Check it out.
Hell yeah. What's your most favorite one that's popping off the shelves?
Ooh, we got a couple. The one that goes the fastest, I'd say every time we get it, it flies out the door, is Starfighter. That's a flavor a lot of people seem to like. The apple fritter was moving really nice at one point. I mean, you got your standard flavors. You know, you like your gelato is always smooth, Girl Scout cookies. I personally really like Gary Payton. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Man. Yeah. How many strands? How many flavors you got? I know you say you got more than Baskin Robbins, but
yeah, nah. Real talk. We probably anywhere I fluctuate between about on hand at any given time. I got anywhere between 18 and 22 different flavors that we playing around with. I could put in orders for other flavors as well.
You named them?
Oh no. Well,
are they already?
Some of them we do name, but I you know, you got to be competitive because if you really start looking at the market, like, you know, everybody knows Girl Scout cookies, right? So that's a brand that is already proven. A lot of people know. So you'd be stupid to not get that. So I definitely deal in brands that people know. We also though get what we call gold pack exotics that are a little harder to find, or that are specialized, that are, you know, from a particular strain. So that's my next big thing is I'm working on, we're going to create our own specific strain that only we control. But that is very time consuming because you.
So how would you do that?
Ooh, that's so. First off, you have to work with a botanist or, you know, somebody that specifically knows how to make strains, right? Okay. And that's not gonna lie, that's way over my head. I'm not a botanist. I'm not a herbologist. That's not the part that I do, right? My job is to package it, market it and sell it. But we definitely are working with those types of people. Shout out to Ethan. And so, he's helping us develop our own specific strain. Now from there, there's a whole lot of other science that's involved with it that, like I said, it's over my head. But they may take various different types of plants. Then they cultivate it from there. And that's why I said it is a lengthy process. Anytime you see a strain that's specific or a very particular strain, you best believe it took a while to cultivate that. A lot of times they even put numbers with it because maybe 1 through 20 didn't hit, right? Like, because we all know you can smoke some bunk weed, right? You're like, man, this ain't doing nothing. Those are those bad strains. And then they got that one, number 25. They're like, ooh, that's that gas. Yeah. And then they'll start to that's the one that they start to mass produce. So it's a process.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So, how's the profit? Like,
it's going nice. It's going nice. I don't want to say too much of Jackers and Robbins out here, but I can't complain. Bills are paid.
I feel you. So is there like a big difference between like marijuana and cannabis?
Well, so the reason I say specifically cannabis, right? It's really it's the same thing. Now where you may be talking about the differences is CBD and marijuana. But the reason I say cannabis is because when I'm having actual business meetings with people and things like that, I don't say, oh, I sell marijuana or I sell weed. I say I'm in the cannabis business, right? Yeah. Sounds better. Sounds just it's just presentation, right? But cannabis, marijuana is pretty much the same thing. Now where the differences are is with CBD and marijuana. CBD use cannabis plant, right? But it's just cultivated a little bit differently. So it doesn't really have the THC impact that gives you the high, but it still has all of the medicinal effects that you would get from marijuana. So for instance, if you sell CBD, that's something you could give to cancer patients, that helps them develop an appetite because, chemotherapy wipes out your appetite. It also helps with pain, helps with various other ailments. And that's a lot of that big push that you saw on the government level where they were like lobbying, the state to let medicinal marijuana and CBD be sold and become legal. So that's why you see so many CBD shops. They're not selling actual marijuana, they're selling CBD. Now, me having a marijuana company, right now, that's why most of my efforts, like I told you, I'm going to be in dispensaries across the West Coast, because that's where marijuana's, well, not the only place, but those are the largest group of states altogether where it's legal for recreational use and you can straight up sell marijuana. You still got to get your license, just like a liquor store. Yeah. So, I had to go through all of that and get my licenses and get everything straightened out. But, so as it grows across the country, my goal is to also grow my company. So eventually, over time, my strain will be, my strains and my platform, my brand, I want to be like the Coca-Cola of marijuana. Every state, wherever you go, you see gas bags, and that's what I'm trying to do. So
that's your goal?
Yeah, man. Yeah, straight up. And I honestly think definitely in the next 10 years, marijuana will be legal on the federal level. And I encourage any black person, especially if you was out there in the life, right? If you was trapping or doing anything like that, man, get your stuff legalized. Start moving into these legal markets. If you really think about it, we've been selling and doing this stuff for decades, right? And what we were doing was taking it and pouring it into music endeavors, or really smart guys were pouring it into real estate and different things like that. But there's no reason why we as black people and Hispanic people shouldn't be jumping into this market and taking it over, because it's $1 billion market. Just look up the numbers. You ain't even got to just believe me. Google it. I'm telling you. Google how much money Colorado made from the marijuana business since it went legal. Google how much money Washington State has made with the marijuana business since it went legal. Google these other states that are all about to go legal, because it's a bunch more that's on the list now. Like I think
Why
like
do you think some states procrastinate, man? Like Austin. You know
like
what I'm
Texas.
saying?
All right, straight up, my opinion, and this is my opinion, okay? I think Texas hasn't legalized it for two reasons. One, they haven't figured out how to control the border. Like, let's be honest. There's whole sectors of marijuana where, you know, a lot of us say we don't smoke Reggie and all of that anymore, but a lot of people still do.
Hell yeah.
Right? A lot of people still do. And I'm not no weed snob. There's some good Reggie out there.
For real.
It's some bad Reggie, but it's some good
yeah,
Reggie
for
out
sure.
there. And depending on your budget, you might not be able to smoke, you know, top-notch gas, or maybe you don't want to. You know, it's old cats that just like they regular Reggie, right? You still have a huge influx of regular, straight-up weed coming across the border from Mexico and other places. They haven't figured out how to lock that down. So I think that's a big piece of it. They want to be able to control the market, right? And as long as you got billions of tons of pounds of marijuana coming from a source outside of your control, you don't want to make it legal. Because, well, if I can't make the money here, I know I can make the money by criminalizing it, because I can arrest these people and charge them and make them pay all of this money through my prison system. Which goes into the second reason why I think Texas hasn't legalized it. They make too much money off prisons. Which is why I'm saying we as black and Hispanic people need to get into this business and make it legal. They make so much money off of us being in jail by locking us up. Dude, okay, for anybody watching that's been to jail, do you remember how much you paid for the toothpaste and all of the crap that comes through jail? Ramen noodles. How much were the soups when they came through jail, right? But if you go to H-E-B right now, you can get a box of them things for a third of the cost per soup that you're paying in jail. That's a markup. So they're making money off of you. Straight up, they're making money off of us. That's a huge income. So they're trying to figure out, okay, before we legalize it, how do we make back the money that we're going to lose from legalizing weed? Dude, it's all a game, and it's all about money. We live in a capitalist society, and it's capitalism 101. A lot of people don't pay attention to what it is, but that's so I'm not just in the weed business because I like weed and all of that, or because I can make money. I'm in it because it's owed to us. And I'm straight up, I'm a huge advocate of that. It is ridiculous that now all of a sudden, because they're legalizing it in certain markets, all of these major companies, one of the biggest lobbyists for the weed market right now is a former Republican who was all about locking people up for drugs. And now, because he's in bed with people where he can make money, he done a complete 180. Now he's all about the marijuana. So we need to get into it now before all of these major cigarette companies, all of these major landholders, before they get in and they grab it and monopolize it. Because once that happens, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
So with this bag right here, what flavor is that?
This one right here, let's see. I know we had some, this one here, I got some Gelato 41. That's a good one. This bad boy right here, this is grapes and cream. Let me tell you right now, if I really wanted to show out, we could literally take a bud out of it. I could stick that to the wall.
Damn.
And it'll stay on the wall probably well before I'm gone.
Damn. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, but we got all kind of flavors. And if you ever come to one of my shows, definitely look for me. We about to start moving into a whole lot of different realms, and I will definitely help you enjoy the concert a little bit better.
Yeah. What you got next? You got shows coming up?
Yeah, man. I actually got a show coming up. What's today? Today is the 18th?
Yeah, the 18th.
Yeah, so I got a show on the 19th. So that's going to be Sunday. I'll be at Volstead Lounge. I'll be getting it in with Burn the Great.
Shout out Burn.
Yeah, shout out Burn. Clado. My man Checkmate.
Man, shout out Checkmate, baby.
Yeah, so that'll be a nice show. Let's see. I know I got some, of course, South by Southwest, all of that. I'll be running around doing my thing. This year though, I don't plan on performing a lot at that. You'll probably just see me out doing a lot of marketing and pushing my company. There's going to be so much money in town from people out of town looking to see where they can get what they want to get. So I want to make sure that I can be that person to get them what they want to get. So I'll be running around doing a lot of that. I know in April I got Devin the Dude show. That's going to be April 18th. Let's see. I know I'll be opening up for Big Tuck up in Dallas. I think that's March 8th.
Man.
So, you know, we're doing a lot of stuff. I got some shows booked out in LA in May. My team, I got a great team of people that I work with now. So really our goal. CHHK, who I'm a part of, we're opening up for Onyx on April 8th. So Onyx will be here in town with R-Rated Rugged Man. We'll be opening up for them. Man, it's a lot of stuff. I could probably use my assistant or somebody here to be like, this date too. But you know, it's a lot going on. So yeah, just follow me on any of my social medias. I definitely always post where I'm gonna be at and what I'm doing. It's a lot happening.
That's what's up, man. Where can you find your music at?
Easy to find, man. Literally, Casino ATX. Casino ATX. Put it in my name. I rep it everywhere I go. Like literally, you'll see footage of me on stage, and I'll instruct the crowd that when I say my name, they gotta say ATX. It's a lot of fun. And then what's cool about it is, you know, people don't never have to ask where I'm from. So I really like that. I've stamped the town on my name, and I take it everywhere I go. Partyville, Texas, Austin, Texas, Casino ATX. I'm easy to find. Yeah, just Google that. It'll take you to all of my stuff.
So even the cannabis too.
Yeah. I mean, like literally, I got that on there. But if you're specifically looking for that, look up Gas Bags, GASSBAGS. We've got the Instagram up and running. I got a lot more coming in regards to that. So yeah, man, look for us. We should be doing a full launch throughout the West Coast. Looking at April. When we'll launch in all the dispensaries, and man, you know, just excited about the future and everything about to happen.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Any shout outs?
Man, hey, shout out to my team, CHHK. Shout out to my guys, Raw with the Dog. Hey, if any rappers watching, or not even just rappers, singers, anybody, you need some production, you need somewhere to record, holla at us. Raw with the Dog. We make some banging ass beats. Pretty much everything I do is in-house with Raw with the Dog, so holla at us. Shout out to all of my various business people that I work with. 7 Crew Entertainment, Big 2 Management, Two Stone. Shout out to Major Gaines, Dominican J. Shout out to the Penman Club out of Dallas. Oh my goodness, man, there's so many people I work with. Hey, I just said it the other day, expand your team, expand your dream. The more people you work with, the more things you can make happen. So, you know, that's what I want to definitely give a shout out to all of them. Shout out to everybody in CHHK. Man, shout out to any of my fans that's tuning in. Anybody that's ever bought something from me, streamed something, liked something, commented on something. Even if you left a negative comment, I left an impression for you to say something. Thank you. And, you know, keep them coming. I appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Go like and subscribe. Hit me up on IG, Go Rogue Podcast. I'm also on YouTube, Go Rogue Podcast. Hit me up, baby. Let's go. ATX stand up.